Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 1,237th regular meeting and public hearing of the Livonia City Planning Commission. I wish to inform all interested persons in our audience that for petitions on tonight's agenda, which involve a question of zoning, the Planning Commission will make a recommendation to City Council, and the City Council, after holding their own public hearing, will make the final determination as to whether a petition is approved or denied. The Planning Commission holds the only public hearing on requests for preliminary plats and/or vacating petitions. The Commission's recommendation is forwarded to the City Council for the final determination as to whether the petition is accepted or rejected. If a petition requesting a waiver of use or a site plan is denied tonight, the petitioner will have 10 days in which to appeal the decision in writing to the City Council. Resolutions adopted by the City Planning Commission will become effective 7 days after the date of adoption. The Planning Commission and professional staff have reviewed each of these petitions upon their filing. Staff has furnished the Commission with both approving and denying resolutions, which the Commission may or may not use depending on the outcome of the proceedings tonight. If our Secretary is ready, please call the roll.
Okay, Mr. Bonjero is absent. Mr. Long?
Is here.
Ms. DeNaro is absent. Mr. Droz?
Here.
Mr. Ventura is absent. Caremagno is here. Chairman Wolshaw
is also here. Also with us tonight, we have Jacob Uhazy, we have Chris Canty, and we have Stephanie Reese from our planning department. They will be assisting us through this meeting. Thank you for being here. And for the folks in our audience, the format is we will start with the background information on the petition from our staff. Then we'll ask the petitioner to come forward and speak to their petition, tell us what you'd like to do, have some question and answer for you, and then we'll see if anyone else in the audience wishes to comment on your item. After that, we will make our decision. With that, we have one item on our public hearing section of our agenda. Mr. Secretary?
Petition 2025-09-01-01 submitted by J&J Land Holdings, LLC under Section 13.15 of the Livonia zoning ordinance as amended, requesting to rezone the property at 13,400 Newburgh Road, located at the southeast corner of Newburgh and Schoolcraft Roads in the northwest quarter of Section 29 from M1, which is light manufacturing, to C2, general business, to construct a gas station and convenience store.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Mr. Uhazy?
Good evening. As mentioned, this is a request to rezone the property at 13400 Newburgh Road from M1 to C2. The reason for request is to remodel the existing building to be a gas station and convenience store. It is located on the southeast corner of Newburgh and Schoolcraft Roads. The property size is 29,756 square feet, with about 172 feet of frontage along Newburgh Road and 173 feet of frontage along Schoolcraft. The site is currently vacant and previously occupied by the Bearing Service Company, which has now since moved. The adjacent properties of the site are to the east, west, and south are all zoned M1 as well, and then north is the I-96 freeway. The future land use plan identifies the site as tech and manufacturing. These areas should serve the community's need for research facilities, warehouses, manufacturing, and other light industrial opportunities or corporate campuses. The under Section 6.26 of the zoning ordinance, gasoline service stations are allowed in the C2 zoning, subject to waiver use approval. The conceptual proposal shows the existing building footprint would be reduced and converted to a gas station and convenience store. The building would be 4,920 square feet. There would be a canopy added to the north of the building with fueling pumps for 8. The site plan proposes 4 drive approaches, 2 along Newburgh and 2 on Schoolcraft. As you will hear shortly, fire, engineering, and police have all expressed concern over the egress locations closest to the intersection. And the site plan provides 11 parking spaces, one of which is barrier-free, and does satisfy the parking requirements for that use. With that, Mr. Chair, I also have some correspondence I can read.
Sure, if you'd like to read out the correspondence, please.
From the Engineering Department. In accordance with your request, the Engineering Division has reviewed the above-mentioned petition. We have no objections to the proposed rezoning at this time, but would like to note the following items. 1. The subject parcel is assigned the address of 13400 Newburgh Should additional addresses be needed, the owner will need to contact this department once approvals have been obtained. The legal description included with the drawings appears to be correct and should be used for the rezoning if the property is approved. 2, existing parcel is currently serviced by public sanitary sewer, storm sewer, and water main. Utility information has not been submitted with the drawings, but we do not believe there will be any adverse effects to the system from the proposed project. 3, as noted, no utility information has been provided, but it should be noted that any proposed construction will be required to meet the Wayne County Stormwater Ordinance, including detention. 4, per the submitted drawings, 4 approaches to the property are proposed. Due to the proximity of the intersection, one or more of the approaches may need to be eliminated or have restrictions on turning movements. A traffic study may be required to justify the proposed amount of approaches and turn movements. From the fire department. The office has reviewed the plans submitted in connection with a request to modify a commercial building on the property located at the above referenced address. We have no objections to this proposal. A further detailed plan review will take place when the division receives an official plan set. Signed, Brian Kukla, Fire Marshal. From the Traffic Bureau, I have reviewed the plans in connection with the petition. Newburgh and Schoolcraft is historically a high crash intersection, and the addition of this development should be carefully analyzed. Any landscaping planned on the north side of the development should be limited in height to reduce any sight distance issues with traffic exiting the development onto eastbound Schoolcraft. The new proposed drive approach on Newburgh and at the northwest corner of the property should be limited to right turns only due to the proximity to the intersection. This is signed Paul Walters, Sergeant of the Traffic Bureau. From the Inspection Department, pursuant to your request, the above referenced petition has been reviewed. The department has no objections to this petition. Signed Jerome Hanna, Director of Inspection. And lastly, from the Treasury Office, all taxes have been paid on this property. Signed Susan Nash, City Treasurer.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Uhazy. Is there any questions for our planning staff? Mr. Droz?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Uhazy, I emailed about this the other day and just I'd asked a question just for clarification purposes. The rezoning application suggests a M1 to a C3 zoning, and I understand that I think that the staff is in the opinion that the C2 is more appropriate. One of the things that I think we're to review as part of a rezoning request is, is what this is being requested for the most appropriate use, and maybe just provide your opinion about why the C2 is more appropriate.
Correct. The petitioner did originally apply under a C3, but after discussing with the petitioner and staff, it was determined that C2 would be the most appropriate land use for this site. C3 would probably be a little bit too intense for the area.
And I guess in terms of too intense, I guess just out of curiosity,
it would allow a lot more uses that in the future, if this were ever to be changed from a C2 to from a gas station to something else, it would require a lot more permitted uses by right as opposed to the C2.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Droz. Any other questions for staff? If not, our petitioner is in the audience. Feel free to come forward to our podium. We'll ask that you start with your name and address for our record.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Brandon Grisco, lawyer, law firm of Fosson and Grisco, 41700 6 Mile Road, Northfield Township, 48168. And I'm here also with the owner of the property, the owner-operator for the fueling station, Mr. Hamadi, as well as it's Wright. Mr. Wright, which is the project architect. I did put together just a brief slideshow, which Jacob has been kind enough to place up here on the screen. I also have hard copies to the extent that anybody wants those. I just want to say, first of all, thanks for having us here tonight. I really appreciate the opportunity to address the commission. Also, it's always a pleasure working with the Livonia planning staff. They're top-notch professionals. So I don't know if you just want to. So I just wanted to show sort of just kind of a Google kind of shot of kind of what this looks like now. And if you want to jump to the next one. sort of a conceptual look at what this could be. One of the things that is of interest with respect to the master plan is that it references the fact that the master plan is such that it wants improvements to these sites. It wants aesthetic improvements to these sites. This is something that I got from book 2, page 20 of the master plan or something like this. And I think this is something that clearly would meet that sort of objective within the framework of what the master plan is looking for and allows for. But I did just want to take the opportunity to show, although this is only conceptual at this time, this is a pretty fair representation of what they would hope that this site could become. Sort of instead of the kind of sort of the boxy sort of building that they have now, something that's a little more light and vibrant with some pretty nice landscaping and things like that. So I just wanted to take the opportunity to show conceptually what the site could look like. If you would just pop over to the next slide there. And I know that most of the commissioners had the opportunity to meet Mr. Hamadi at the study meeting. So I do appreciate the commissioners taking the opportunity to get to know him a little bit. I want to point out that Mr. Hamadi is a small business owner, been in business for 20 plus years in the community, excellent reputation in the community, is looking to put $2 to $3 million into the property between acquisition costs and development costs. He's going to own and operate this fueling station in conjunction with several others that he already has and operates as a good community partner. And then another $500,000 is going to go into fast EV chargers on the site should the rezoning get approved and then should the site plan be approved. This is the plan for the site is to have those amenities available. The other piece that I want the commissioners to be aware of is that the security systems on site, where there's going to be sort of a top-notch security system using artificial intelligence. This system is going to deter crime, and it's also going to assist the police in solving crimes and investigating traffic crashes and things like this. So not necessarily directly pertinent to the ordinance criteria. I understand that, and I'm going to get to those just in a minute here. But I did want to take the opportunity to sort of address some of the amenities and some of the aesthetics that this project is going to bring to the table. And I know the commissioners are very well familiar with this, so I would sort of be remiss not to include it. But I did just sort of include the ordinance factors to have it as a touch point as some of the things that I'm going to be covering within the presentation here tonight. So if you want to jump to the next one there. And this is where I start to get into some of that, the ordinance criteria specifically. I just want the commissioners, at least our perspective, that the fuel station that's being proposed here tonight is totally in continuity with the master plan. This is one of the things that I mentioned. This is a direct quote from the Vision 21 master plan, that we want to gradually improve the appearance of these areas, which is the area in question here, which is calling for tech and manufacturing. We want to gradually improve the appearance of these areas while retaining them as cost-effective locations to support new and existing businesses in the city. So again, directly from the master plan document here, and what do we have here today, right, is somebody that's looking to improve the appearance of this, that's going to be something that's going to exist sort of in continuity with the existing district, and it's going to support a new business as well. And the other thing I wanted to suggest is that this is actually really similar to a lot of the uses that are already sort of allowed within the M1 districts. I know we're looking to go to C2, which, as chance would have it, is a waiver use and not a use by right for fuel stations. But regardless, what do you have in the M1 district that would be allowed? Highway services, okay, and I think we can see how this is sort of consistent with that. Automotive uses. I've got a slide here in a couple slides that shows the different automotive uses that are in the direct immediate vicinity. Truck stops, actually, if there was a large enough lot, you'd be able to do a truck stop in the M1 zoning district, and also petroleum product storage. So I hope the commissioners can see that when we're talking about a fueling station, we're not talking about something that is uncharacteristic for an industrial type area, but rather something that is more or less in continuity with the types of uses that would already be allowed within the M1 zoning district. And so again, this is just sort of a Google Maps screenshot here. I've got 4 red boxes on the screen that I created, and then you can also see there's the pin dropped at the southeast corner of Newburgh and Schoolcraft there. That pin, of course, is the site that we're talking about here, 13400 Newburgh Road. And those red boxes are, sort of according to Google, the automotive uses that are in the area. So you've got sort of a classic car repair, a collision shop, again, areas that have traffic in and out of them, vehicles in and out of them, and more or less consistent with a fuel station type of use. Well, I can't read that from over here. I think as it pertains to one of the things that we had talked about at the last meeting is, why is this site no longer, fit, so to speak, for an industrial use? I think the first point, which is actually the second point on the slide there, is that the existing owner of that property, the Bering company that's been there for a really long time, actually moved out of there because it's too small to suit sort of the industrial uses that they had been occupying the property with, and they had to move into somewhere bigger. And this is after already having modified the site to make it a little bit bigger. So they really had exceeded the potential for that site as far as the industrial use goes. And there were no other industrial properties that came in with strong economic offers for their purposes. And so I think we can sort of infer from that the highest and best use of the property is the one that Mr. Hamadi has put up and is investing in this property for, which is the fuel station. Obviously, is going to require the rezoning here. But I think the purposes, for purposes of tonight, the building is relatively small footprint as far as things go. So when you're looking at an industrial or a warehousing type use, and warehousing I think primarily is what it was before, you don't have the footprint or the size that you really need to get into that space and to be able to maximize the potential of the site there. Again, a couple of points I talked about at the study meeting, but I'll highlight here as well is that in keeping with the theme of sort of that this is in continuity with the sort of industrial uses that we have, we've got motorists that are going to be driving through here. We've got employees that are going to be part of the industrial parks that are back there, and they need somewhere to go to eat, to shop, to fuel their vehicles. People coming off the freeway are going to be looking for a place to fuel up and things like that as they're passing through town. And so this is a use that's really going to serve and provide amenities for both the employees and then also the guests to the community and the motorists that are going to be coming through. Now this is a little bit of the boring stuff, I'll be honest about that. So one thing that I wanted to do is show kind of like how is the city zoning sort of similar areas within town in terms of sort of the industrial areas along the freeway. Okay, so this is a snapshot from the city's zoning map that's up on the website for the Farmington and Schoolcraft area. So if we just look on the south side of the freeway there, you see the light blue taking up the majority of the south end of the freeway there. And those light blue areas are going to be industrial type areas. And the red areas on the corner are going to be commercial uses. Similarly, if you go to the northwest, on the northwest corner there, you've got a little chunk parcel there that's sort of a little bit darker blue, also an industrial type use. And again, you've got on that corner a gas station, which I can't recall if it's C2 or 3 right there. But again, it's one of those commercial type uses there. And spoiler alert, this is going to be sort of a pattern that we're going to see as we travel east along the freeway from Farmington to Merriman to Middle Belt. And you've got 3 corners on that one that are sort of taken up by fuel stations. So as we look to the Merriman zoning map, let me just get to that page. Again, so south of the freeway, Merriman and Schoolcraft, what do you have? You see sort of light blue, dark blue, which are sort of the industrial type zoning areas. And right on the corner, you've got punctuated with red. And on the southwest corner there is a gas station, of course, and also the northwest corner. And on the north side anyhow, and similar to Farmington, you've got sort of residential areas kind of close by there, which is just an issue we don't have here, which actually I think would make it even more appropriate in our case versus some of these other cases. Middle Belt, so not as much here in the way of gas stations, but again, you see this kind of consistent pattern of industrial areas, and the corners are sort of punctuated with the commercial uses. And that's essentially the exact same thing we're trying to do here by taking this from M1 to C2. You're going to see that same type of punctuation just like you see along Farmington about 1.5 miles away, and then 1 mile from that Merriman, and then another mile from that Middle Belt. Just a summation of the different various things that we talked about on this slide. One of the things I did want to point out, though, as Jacob was kind enough to mention, some issues identified with respect to access and egress from the site, but no real objections from the department heads. You've got issues to work through within the framework of site planning, but nothing, I don't think, that really impacts the zoning, although traffic obviously is a factor in considering whether to rezone a property, and it's something that I know the commission will take into account appropriately. But Newburgh Road right there, if I'm not mistaken, the city of Livonia has the ability to implement the traffic control order there and provide for right turns only through site planning. The commission and the city council would be able to do essentially the same thing. So these are all issues that I think would be fairly easy to work through within the framework of site planning. And I think I mentioned this earlier probably, but within the M1 zoning district, you've already got a lot of the different components to a fueling station, right? So you've got the ability for retail, you've got the ability for highway services, you've got the ability for automotive uses, you've got the ability for parking. If you take all these things and sort of mix them together, you essentially end up with what would be a fueling station. And so I think the components are all there. The industrial zoning district is generally a higher intensity use, and the C2 commercial zoning district is much lower of an intensity of usage. And so I think from that perspective, you're going from an area of higher intensity to lower intensity, which is something that a lot of communities, I think, would take into account. I hope that the commission takes that into account as well, that you're taking something relatively consistent and you're not making it more intense than what the district can handle, but rather dialing it back a little bit. And of course, as I said, the petitioner is here. He's going to be the owner-operator and is willing to answer questions, and so is the architect. Of course, the plans are conceptual at this point, and so we don't have the full slate before the commission, but we are happy to answer any of the questions that may have come up throughout the course of the presentation or otherwise.
Well, thank you, Mr. Grisco, for your presentation. I appreciate that. And you did a nice job of framing the topic that I was just going to talk about, which is that, you know, we are looking at the rezoning of this property right now. This is a multi-step process. Right now, you're looking to rezone to a zoning that would, in this case, C2 is what we're discussing tonight, which under a waiver use would allow a fueling station. If the rezoning is favorable and carries on, then the second part of the process would then be the site plan process that you would come back to us for. And that's where we would actually discuss all the details of the layout of the site, the building, the materials, colors, hours, lighting, and all those things. So tonight, for the sake of what we have before us is the zoning, so there's not going to be a ton of discussion around the actual site plan. There may be, as you said, it's conceptual. There may be a few general questions we have for you, but we're going to try to focus our discussion on the zoning and the proposed use as it relates to that. So with that, again, thank you for your presentation. Is there any questions from any of our commissioners for our petitioner? Mr. Droz?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Echo Chairman Wilshaw's comments regarding your presentation. I think a lot of the things that we look at as part of these requests were covered very nicely, especially along the Schoolcraft corridor. I guess getting into the details of the plan a little bit is one of the things that I'm looking at least, is just to make sure that the use that's being requested can fit within the site. I did notice that looks like a shared driveway on the east side, which is going to be pretty critical to making this site happen. And it looks like there's in one of the exceptions on the Alta survey, it lists that there's it looks like a shared easement or something like that. And I guess maybe just if the team could speak to the relationship with the neighbor, and if you guys are comfortable that, you'd be able to work through if there are any sort of drive alterations on Schoolcraft.
Yeah, I'll let somebody else speak to that, but as an attorney, I feel the need to comment on everything, of course, so I'm going to comment anyway. I believe the parcels used to be under shared ownership, under common ownership, and so probably at the time that it split off, there were arrangements made, but I don't know if you have, Scott, if you know for a fact. Go ahead, please.
Good evening, Honorable Commissioners. My name is Steve Hamadi. We met last week, and thank you for the opportunity to hear our case today. Regarding the easement, this was, as Brandon expressed, that the whole parcel was owned by the same owner I purchased the land with, and because he sold them that small parcel, gave them the rights to use the entrance. So that's where it's at. So they are allowed to use the entrance for their business. They also have another entrance that they currently use as well.
Okay.
So they're using my parking lot, using a big portion of the parking lot, and using the entrance as well. I have no issue with that.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking.
Thank you, Mr.
I'm all
Joseph.
set. Thank you.
Okay, is there any other questions for our petitioner?
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Caremagna?
Sir, how'd you go about finding this property and determining that it needs a gas station? What was your process there?
Well, I was just driving in the area, and I seen the for sale sign there, and I being in the business for over 32 years, I know gas stations, fueling stations need high traffic. It needs a corner, and I seen that it was a viable option to explore, and I didn't think I could actually get that parcel because it was so many people have put bids on it, but I guess I was the highest bidder, and I'm very happy and ecstatic about opening my first business in Livonia.
That was another question I had. So you've got other businesses. This will be your first in Livonia?
Yes.
Okay, and then this is a unique piece of property, is from what I can tell. Obviously it's a major thoroughfare. No gas stations on a major thoroughfare, so it's gotten by forever without a service station, and it seems like you're stumbling upon a good opportunity here. So I personally like it, but that's my opinion.
Thank you. So in 1972, when that building was built, traffic was probably a lot less than today, and it wouldn't have been viable for any C2 or convenience store at that time. Now that traffic is probably 50 times more than it was since 1972, and the industrial area there, they need people. They need a fueling station with convenience and food, fresh food to serve them.
Thank you.
Most welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Caremagna. Any other questions for our petitioner? No? Okay. Mr. Hamadi, just a quick question for you. You said that you own some other gas stations. I know you own other businesses as well, but more focused on the gas stations. Can you tell us where some of those are located?
Correct. I own one on the border of Livonia and Westland on Joy and Newburgh. It's a Sunoco gas station currently.
On the southwest corner?
Southwest corner.
Very good. Okay.
Yes, and I ran a burger shop out of there with my family, and during the pandemic, it was hard to get employees, and we kind of idled it, and it was a great concept, and so the other location is on Warren and Warren and Newburgh, sorry. And all my sites are designated as emergency sites for the city of Westland. We have a great partnership together that I provide for them 24 hours generator in case there's any storms or anything like that. They're designated as a, Brandon knows, as a emergency site for police, fire, and they get their fuel from me as well.
Okay.
And the other location is on Warren and Vinoy, which is my first station after in Garden City. After I left Detroit, that was my first station. I bought it in 91. And the other location is on Warren and Merriman. It was an old Clark station that I rehabbed and did a beautiful job on it. So you're more than welcome to take a tour with me there and see how I operate. It's very clean, very well lit, nicely landscaped.
Well, that's why I asked the question, because it gives us an opportunity to see some of your other work in action, and those will, I'm sure, speak for your the type of development that you're looking for here as well. So thank you.
Welcome.
All right, good. If there's no other questions for the petitioner, I don't see anything from any of the commissioners. I will go to the audience. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak for or against this petition? If so, please come forward. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Thank you for having me here.
Thank you for being here.
Appreciate your time.
Again, we'll just ask for your name and address. So we know who
Sure.
we're
My
talking
name's
to.
Brian Arbach. I live at 14299 Stonehouse,
Okay.
Castle Gardens subdivision. Very familiar with this area and have lived there for 25 years. I put some notes down here, but after hearing the petitioner, and I appreciate the information and how they presented it, and it's compelling. Great corner, a lot of traffic. However, I can say myself, living there for 25 years, I've never once looked at that corner and said to myself, geez, I wish there was a gas station or a convenience store there. You know, I have 2 gas stations and convenience stores just barely a mile north at 5 Mile in Newburgh. And one of them's a 24-hour station. And rarely, if ever, do I see them overwhelmed with vehicles or people utilizing the facility. So you mentioned the traffic, and I certainly think a traffic study should be employed here because living there, I do see the amount of traffic, and I think that is a definite consideration when you guys are, folks are doing the due diligence and deciding whether or not to rezone this. So other things that I had here that I think apply, certainly with the Vision 21 plan that was implemented, and this doesn't fit that plan. It's a variance that moves away from that. And I get the fact that it's not a large parcel, but it does still offer a great location near the freeway for folks to access from outer, whether it be Ann Arbor or Southfield. So I think there's still other opportunities other than having a convenience store and the fueling station there. And I didn't do a count of how many local stations we have nearby. I just know the 2 that we have close. I think the petitioner made a kind of almost a compelling case for me in a sense, or my neighbors, that along the freeway there's already plenty of opportunity of folks that are coming in and out of the Livonia area to stop and fuel up. Convenience right there. A lot of folks that are moving through are coming in or through to work, and they've already made their morning arrangements to have fuel, their coffee, what have you, and the same thing when they're leaving out. So, and if they haven't, again, as I mentioned, just a slight mile north, and as well as a petitioner station that's just south of there as well. So I'm against it, rezoning. I do think it opens up a bit of a can of worms that if it is approved, and then there might be variances asked, such as the sharing businesses to the east. I understand a C2 property to an M1 has to have a 6-foot barrier or a 20-foot green belt, and I don't know that that's possible in that particular location. And so I can foresee some variances being asked of the committee moving forward. So again, I appreciate the time and the consideration.
Well, thank you for your comments, Mr. Arbach. We appreciate you coming forward.
Sure. Thank you. Have a good evening.
You too. Is there anyone else in our audience wishing to speak on this item? If not, I'm going to go back to the petitioner. We always give the petitioner a chance to say anything else if they would like before we make our decision. Mr. Grisco, is there anything else that you'd like to say on behalf of your client?
I appreciate the opportunity to do so. I do appreciate the comments and the discussion. I think the presentation speaks for itself. I understand that the resident had a different interpretation of that, but we rely on the fact that we think it's consistent ultimately with the master plan, the surrounding zoning, and with other uses allowed in that district.
All right, thank you, sir. Is there anyone on the commission with any additional questions or comments before we make a decision? Mr. Droz?
Mr. Chair, just to offer some comments, I know with these rezoning requests, sometimes it's helpful to know, where our commissioners are coming from. At least in this one, I think maybe just to highlight the fact that, this is it's on the edge of basically almost a square mile of manufacturing use. And we kind of see pretty consistently throughout the city where the corners can be different than, the surrounding uses. So that, and also its location on two major roads. We often see C2 on these corners throughout the city, and gas stations at that. And then I think the other part of it too is, although not zoned that way, it does kind of have a consistent feel with, the Newburgh corridor has a bunch of storefront businesses that, kind of are on the edge again of that manufacturing corridor. So generally, from that perspective and kind of just seeing consistency throughout the rest of the city, that's why I will be probably in support of this one tonight.
All right, thank you, Mr. Droz. Is there any other comments or questions from any commissioners? If not, I will close the public hearing, and a motion would be in order.
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Long?
I'd like to offer an approving resolution. The request to rezone the property at 13400 Newburgh Road from M1 Light Manufacturing District to C2 General Business District is hereby approved, subject to City Council approval for the following reasons. Number one, that the proposed change of zoning to C2 would be compatible to and in harmony with the surrounding zoning and land uses in the area. Number two, that the property involved in this request would be in full compliance with C2 district regulations. Number three, that the proposed change of zoning to C2 would cause the zoning of the property to more accurately correspond to the use and size of the property. And number four, the proposed zoning change represents a reasonable and logical plan for the subject property that adheres to sound land use planning principles.
Is there support?
Support.
Okay, we have a motion to approve offered by Mr. Long, supported by Mr. Droz, and that is to approve to a C2 zoning. Is there any questions or comments on the motion? Hearing none, if the secretary is ready, please call a roll on a motion to approve.
Mr. Long?
Aye.
Mr. Droz?
Aye.
Caremagno votes aye. Chair Molsha?
Votes aye, motion passes. That will go to City Council with an approving recommendation. The City Council then will hold another similar meeting to approve the rezoning, and this is not only for the petitioner's benefit, but also any folks in the audience interested in this petition. City Council will have to decide on the rezoning of this property. If it's appearing that it's going to move forward, what they typically will do is they will they have to go through a process where they offer a first reading and a second reading. They'll usually get to the point where they'll hold at the second reading before they take a vote. And then you're going to start the site plan process. You'll come back to us with a site plan for this property. We will discuss in much more detail the actual use of this property and the waiver use that you'll need for that property. And then again, we'll make our recommendation. That will go to City Council, and then you'll need approval for both the zoning and the site plan at that time at Council. That's the short version of how this works. It's kind of a multi-step process, but this is the first step along the way with an approving recommendation to City Council. So we wish you luck as you move forward.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming tonight.
Thank you so much.
Well, that was the only substantive item on our agenda. We also have one other item, which is just approval of minutes, Mr. Secretary.
And that is the approval of minutes of the 1,236th public hearing and regular meeting held by the Planning Commission on October 7th, 2025.
Now, I wasn't there, but I heard it was a real barn burner of a meeting. It lasted a whole 15 minutes, I think, right?
That's correct.
All right, we had all members present with the exception of Mr. Caremagno, Ms. DeNaro, and myself. Is there going to be a motion to approve those?
I'll move to approve.
Support.
All right, we have a motion to approve by Mr. Droz, supported by Mr. Long. If there's no objection, we'll show 4 on that.
Mm-hmm.
I hear no objections. We'll mark those as approved. Takes us to the end of our meeting tonight. Is there any other business to come before the Planning Commission? Hearing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
By Mr. Long, supported by
Support.
Mr. Droz. That's a motion to adjourn. Is there any discussion or objection to showing 4? I hear no objection. We'll mark the meeting as adjourned at 7:41 p.m. I do want to thank Livonia Television staff for bringing this meeting to the community. And with that, we are going to wish a good night to City Livonia. Good night.